you, Mariam. Thank you, everybody, for the beautiful songs. And great to meet you virtually, hopefully in person one day. So yeah, as Mariam was saying, we go way back, like we were in the same college in fine arts in Egypt. And then like I was studying interior design back then, and then I drifted or shifted my career, and I started to learn about animation because I didn't know I wanted to be an animator, but it happened all by a happy accident, I would say. I was doing a project in my final year, project for interior design, which was just a presentation for some chairs and stuff, and I was building it in 3D, and I was learning like a 3D class about 3ds Max just to help me do presentations for for the college and for my work. And then we had only one class of animation. It was like a course of like, I believe it was 12 weeks, I think. And then only one class about animation, just a very, very, very rough, ideas about animation. And then because of only this class, just hour and a half of very, very basic information, this changed my whole life and career. I was at home one day doing a project and like building some set for an interior design project, and I started I was created a chair and then created a ball, and then I said, oh, I know now how to animate. I learned how to do a bounce, and I started to bounce the ball, and then I made the chair actually play with the ball. I said, why not? I would play it as a kid, like I would hold the chair and like just walk and run like that and just play and bounce the ball. And I stayed doing that for 3 days straight. I was sleeping barely 2 hours every day or 3 hours, and then like waking up half asleep and then continuing because I was so into it and I really fell in love with it. And then I decided, you know what, since I love it this much, even more than interior design, why not become my actual career? And that's when I started looking for how to become an animator and actually work in animation. And then I went to Vancouver Film School in Canada, and I learned there, studied like a diploma of character animation. And then I continued self-studies on my own until I started working first in commercials and like TV work, and then started working in features at Sony Imageworks, where I worked on Hotel Transylvania, Smurfs, Smurfs 2, the ugly one that everybody hates, and then Smurfs The Lost Village, the better one. And I worked on Angry Birds movie, couple of Spider-Man movies, and then I left Sony, went to a company called MPC, Moving Picture Company, where I worked there at Night at the Museum, which was one of the last movies of Robin Williams. I was a big fan, so I was lucky to get a chance to work on one of his last works. And then went to a company called Method, where I worked on Thor Ragnarok, Godzilla, King of Monsters, and Fantastic Beasts. And from there, I went to my current studio, which is called Framestore. Framestore is a London-based studio, but it has a studio in Montreal, and now actually they have multiple locations in many parts of the world, in Australia and in the States, in London, of course, the headquarters, and in Montreal and Vancouver. And I worked there. This is actually my 5th year at Framestore, which is pretty long. Time flies crazy. And I've done there some work like Spider-Man No Way Home. I supervised the animation, as well as the Suicide Squad, the James Gunn one, and his Dark Materials, which was a pretty cool TV show on HBO. I don't know, anybody saw it? Yes, no, maybe? Anyway, go see it. It's a beautiful show.
You're saying which one again?
His Dark Materials on HBO. It's a TV show like on HBO, based on the books, His Dark Materials. And it's like the Golden Compass movie, the same story, but this is more true to the books. And it's all British cast, probably. That's why Americans don't like British stuff. so probably didn't watch it. But anyway, it was a cool project where we had a chance to work on many creatures and animals, and um, and um, and yeah, I was fortunate to be nominated and even win an Annie Award, which is kind of like the Oscars of animation. It's a big deal, but yeah, it was a great show. And currently, I just wrapped up working on the upcoming film called Wonka, which is gonna be released in December, and it's Timothy Chalamet and directed by Paul King, who did Paddington, and yeah,
I
that's
wish I
great,
wish
great.
yours I wish you can see the reactions for everything you mentioned, but I'm
It's
kind of jealous
yeah.
now.
Again, it's like really it's a cool thing that you get to work on what you like, and you feel like you're happy to go to work every day, which is something I've never imagined I would be. I was always not very clever at school. I was never the hard worker and the one who's aiming for the best. I was never like that in my when I was a student or younger. I was always doing the bare minimum and chilling and just doing my own stuff. I like music and play music and drawing and stuff. But since I found animation and my love to animation and the passion to animation, that's what was driving me to, what, actually, I want to do more. I want to work harder and I want to become the best. And that's actually was the motivation for me um, to go somewhere and to do stuff that maybe now it sounds, oh my God, that's amazing. But actually, if you see it step by step, it's been like really building as if you're building a huge wall. A brick every day is what gets you to the final accomplishment. Um, and yeah, if we can, I share the link with you, Mariam. You can just play it. This is kind of like my demo reel, so that you guys have an idea before we continue talking, so that
Yeah.
it's not too boring. So we can just play the Vimeo link I sent you, Mariam, if you can. Can you open it?
Yeah, yeah, the Venmo. Let's see.
Yeah, Vimeo. It's playing. Yes. Is it done? Still going? Thank you. Thank you. So that's like a demo reel of my personal work, not a super. There is also something we usually do. It's called a supervisor reel, which is like the sequences I supervise. But this is my personal. This is the shots I animated myself. So this is my own personal demo reel. And it's again, it's not all the work I've done through the years. I'm getting old. Look at this white hair. I'm very old, but yeah, I've definitely worked on more stuff, but this is like the latest work.
No, Gina, you're not old because you're making me old now too.
No, you never get old. I get old. So it's definitely just a way to showcase your work, and when you present your work to companies and stuff like that, it's always good to have a demo reel that have the best of your work, just to give them a taste of what you can do and what's kind of your skill and so on. So anyway, going back to I was wondering what to talk to you guys about today, and I think the best is just to tell you the stuff that I wish someone told me when I was in your age, or like when I was studying. The thing is, sometimes we think in a very narrow perspective. Like, we think that there's only one way to do things, or there's only one way that we can achieve or do in our lives. And it's kind of like always this is our focus, which is great. If you know what you want to be in, to do for your whole life, this is awesome. This is like a privilege. Not everybody knows that. But a good way to do it, or a good way to define what you want to do for the rest of your life, or like the career, especially in the artistic and the creative industries, because it's very competitive, it's very consuming, and if you don't love it, if you don't love what you do, it's gonna be like hell. You're gonna hate your life, because it's, again, you will feel the competition, you will feel how hard it is without enjoying the outcome, or like having feeling the accomplishment. So a good way to do that is like to see what would you like to do for the rest of your life for free, without even getting paid. And this is the thing you should go with. This is the thing you should choose and do as a job, because if you're enjoying doing it, you're gonna enjoy even the bad times, even the times where you are struggling, and we're getting criticized, or you're a bit down in your curve of creativity or achievements. Because again, it's not only goes upwards. No, sometimes it goes up and down, for many reasons. And a lot of reasons, sometimes the clients are very I don't want to say anything politically wrong, but sometimes they're annoying. Sometimes they really consume you, and you try to please them. Directors now are so spoiled because of the visual effects, how far the visual effects has been, has gone. And now they know that they can do anything in post-production. Now they can rely on visual effects on anything. So if when you get like a client or a director who doesn't know what he wants, he just want to see options. So we have to go and try things. So if you really don't love what you're doing, if I really didn't love and was so passionate about animation, it would have been hell. So definitely this is something to keep in mind. Try many things. Also, like, as I told you in the beginning when I was talking about how I became an animator, or how I knew I wanted to be an animator. In Egypt, unfortunately, there's no real education about 3D animation. Maybe the classic animation, and it's very limited and it's very small, like niche classes and departments in the college. But the 3D animation, the one we see in the animated features and animated movies and visual effects, unfortunately, it's not there. So I didn't even know about it until I started digging in myself and I did my homework. Now it's much easier, and it's easier to, like, there's a lot of resources, and it's much better than back in my time. So if I didn't try many things, and if I didn't do this one class, hour and a half of very basic animation tools, I wouldn't have become an animator and, you know, went all the way and then become a supervisor currently. So trying different things always help to even for you, to enlighten you what I like, what I don't like, what I can do, and how I can achieve things in a different way. And that's actually a key. Like when you're especially when you're young, when you're just fresh graduate, or like you're starting a career, it's always good to try things and learn more, because there's no end to education. You can still learn. You know, we learn our whole life. We don't stop. And even I even learned that from the biggest artists out there. Like I thought, okay, they were talented, they were good from the beginning, so this is it. No, it never ends. They've always talked about their struggles, especially like the best animators out there, or the best artists out there. I'll be specific to animators because I'm an animator myself. So, but it applies to everything. So when I listen to you know, their podcasts or like interviews, and they talk about their career, you can relate to, oh my God, I feel the same. I'm struggling in the same thing. I'm having, you know, the same doubts and struggles and issues and things I'm weak in, and how come this great artist is sharing the same struggles? So actually, we're all the same. It's just about, if you're passionate about something, this is what's gonna push you to be the best. And, you know, to be the best you can be. It's not the best. You're not comparing yourself. It's not a competition with someone else. It's for yourself. It's to push your limits and be the best animator or the best artist you can be. So whatever you guys choose to do, I think it's very important that always think of growth. Always think that every piece I do, every piece of art, or like every project I do, has to be pushing the limits from the previous one, has to be better than what I've done before. This is the only way to go up. Otherwise, there is no way to stay the same. It's going up or down, the curve of your skills and knowledge. So it's not always also positive that I'm learning all the time. Every day I'm happy to be learning. No, it's sometimes like, I just want to sit on the couch and watch Netflix, and that's it. I don't want to do hard work today. So it happens for sure. But at the same time, don't let that control you, or let that make you like stay in this state for too long. Always keep thinking about what's next. Always have plans for short term and long term, so that you can prepare yourself for, you know, to become the best you can be. This is the only way. And yeah, again, it's not only what you're studying now that can define what you're going to do your whole life. This is another thing that I learned from my own experience. I finished interior design and I graduated, and then I decided to shift careers, or like, you know, start to learn something completely new, completely out of, you know, my league, or like my even like resources that I had to travel to study. So it's a lot of it requires a lot of passion and dedication, and you will never give that dedication and hard work unless you are passionate about what you're doing. So always think, is this really what I'm enjoying to do? This is what I want to do in my free time. This is like a hobby to me. This is the question you should ask yourself. If the answer is yes, you're gold. You know, you can go forever, do this, and you will be happy no matter what happens, because life always have ups and downs. It's not always good. The real you see now, it's been like some project I've been like, you know, sitting by myself and like, am I doing the right thing? I'm not as good as I want to be. I'm not as good as like this person or that artist. And it's always like a lot of doubts along the way. But what made me continue is that I want to be better, and I love what I'm doing. So you know what? I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm just going to have fun and try to push my limits every time. And that's the key to where I got. And still, I'm not saying that I made it. Woo, I'm there. No, I'm still trying every day. And it's the same struggle, but at least with the experience, you know the ways, and you know yourself more even the more you grow. So that's going to make you know how to push your limits and know how to learn the best way you can, and how to be the best artist you can be. That's it.
Can we maybe open the for questions? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
And we also, by the way, this class we did a character. We did several things. I don't know if you're in our room now. You can see some of the things here hanged. We did like a mural
Amazing.
and a character
Beautiful.
and a poster and a book design and a portrait. And
Love it.
maybe people, can you bring your character? And maybe I don't know if people have you can bring your, like if you have things to show. Yeah, and also Michael, like whoever has a something that is not necessarily hanged on the wall and want to show their character. Lenny, we did character design. And maybe they can show you.
Yeah.
Tell us, and maybe you can also. I'm sorry that this is virtual, but thanks. At least we have that. So that's Nico. Actually, he's
Wow.
one of the very much talented artists here. Nico, you can talk about your work and tell us what's your concept, and maybe you can also tell us what you think.
Please go ahead.
All right. Hello, I'm Nico.
Hello. Nice to meet you, Nico.
Nice to meet you. So this character is I kind of have a little bit of a personal attachment to this character. So I kind of based my concept off of an individual who's kind of like he's kind of inspired by my own personality traits, kind of melancholy, a bit moody, and there's like this character is kind of going off of the concept of anthropomorphism, and I think in a lot of media nowadays, like that concept is starting to emerge quite a bit. Especially even both like in larger companies and even indie creators as well. So we see examples of anthropomorphism in like Disney, maybe even Blue Sky. And even in Marvel, I'd say Marvel, we can see a little bit of anthropomorphism, I think. So, and I find characters like these pretty unique because I feel like that you can find a lot of different ways to express emotions and even body language. Like, for example, I don't know, I drew the tail kind of like curled, like tucked in between the legs to communicate some kind of like insecurity or like if a tail was like curled upwards, it would indicate like the character is like more upbeat and uplifting,
happy or positive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right. And then like even in the facial features, like you can see my character is a bit like frowny faced.
Yes.
So, like all like the body language ties all together, and I think with anthropomorphic characters you can play with the expressiveness quite a lot.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to try and experiment with this character.
It's beautiful. I really like it. I like from the moment I saw it, I like the pose. It's showing a character. I would even push the pose if I were you, like how to make this even better, which is like just to push the pose even more. I would tilt the head a little bit more down. I would make the lighting more dramatic, have a little bit of dark side and a lighting coming from one side, and maybe a rim light just to show the silhouette a bit better. The eyes is very strong, by the way. The eyes, it's the first thing we always look at. Okay, to understand a person, you look in the eyes. So I love that you did like this half sleepy eyes, or like not very wide open lids, which is awesome. I would even push it more with the expression instead of just making it like with the up brows and like sleepy lids. I would make it a little angrier or a little bit more concerned, just to sell that expression and make it even feel, just by seeing it from the first time, I get the feel of the character and I learn more about the personality of the character. Still, it's not taking away anything from what you have done. It's beautiful. I love it. And even the details you added about the tail and about the pose, and just like, how he's not happy, or like, it's showing a lot in the pose. So great job. It's looking awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the advice.
No, it's beautiful work. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Fruji.
Fruji?
Sure. They want to. They all want. They're all voting that you should. Stella.
Oh yeah.
Stella. I know we're showing.
You are in the fire. You guys threw her in the fire. Oh yeah. Okay. Hi. My name is Estella, and this is my character design. This is Zana. She is like from Asturian mythology from Spain. And she's just basically like, it's kind of like your typical fairy. She, you know, she's beautiful. She lives by the water, and if you're deemed a good soul to her, then she'll like reward you. But if you're not, then she'll basically like punish you or torture you. So that's just the nature. She's like beautiful. She has long blonde hair, and she lives by water. So that's, you know, that's the design that I came up with.
Amazing. I love it. I really love the style of your the rendering of the colors. It's so awesome. I love it. Again, I will just give you some advices. It's not anything that that is short in your design, but it's just what I would do to make it even better. From what you have described, I feel that she has a power. She's in control.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would show that even in her posture, even in her pose. I would make one leg instead of having both legs. Both legs together feels a little bit shy. I would make one leg a little bit higher and the other leg maybe a little straighter, so that she's like doing something like that. If you see my camera, instead of both legs together like this, I would make it one a little higher, one a bit lower. It's gonna even create a more interesting and more relaxed pose. Her head, instead of having the spine and the head looking together in a very stiff way, I would lean her head a little bit to the back. This is showing more attitude, and this is showing also more that she has power. She's gonna either reward you or punish you. So be careful. A little bit of giving an attitude in the pose is a lot of it's very powerful. It's actually, from just seeing a picture, it can tell you a lot about the character and about the story. But again, I really love the style. So looks awesome. Great job.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Oh, what's happening? I don't know. Maybe the film. No, whatever.
Hi.
Hello.
Isa. And then
sorry, your name?
Oh, Isa.
Isa?
Isabella.
Yeah, nice to meet you. And Isabella. Isabella. Nice to meet you, Isa.
So then I based it off the Greek goddess Artemis.
Nice.
Goddess of wilderness. So then I really wanted to add a horse. And so much time on the horse that her face could be better. But but I did her with like a bow and arrow, and then the horse.
That's great. I think it's not the face that I feel needs enhancement. I think the face for the style, it's kind of like a little bit simplistic, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But I think it's the body. I was just in Italy. I just came back yesterday. Sorry, the day before. I'm still jet lagged. So I spent so much time seeing all the statues and the stuff in Italy, in Rome and Florence. And actually, one of the really, really good things about those statues is that the anatomy is perfect. The anatomy is amazing. So always think about the anatomy. I feel that the spine with the hips is kind of a little bit off. This is the first thing that took my eye. I think you can definitely enhance that a little bit by really drawing first the structure of the body and the pose, and then put the clothes on, as if you're putting the body first and then the clothes after. You're putting her clothes after you sketch the body, so that you know how the body is flowing, how the anatomy is going. Is it right or wrong? I love the style. There's something in animation, or like even in drawing, we call a line of action. It's always very strong to have a nice line of action. What I would do is I would push the horse's face a little bit more to the front, so that it feels that he's leaning forward. It's giving a nice line of action, as if it's kind of in the move, or it's moving forward very fast. this is going to even create a nice contrast with her body. Her body is leaning back. The horse is going to be leaning more forward. It's going to create a more energy and a more feel of movement in the picture. So when you're drawing even just one frame, it's not animation, but because even in animation we rely a lot on poses, and I always draw for the animators on top of their animation just to give them notes. So always think about the poses to make it more dynamic, to make it feel like, okay, you want the horse should be running, so we want to make it feel that it's in motion. How to make this like really read as if just seeing one image and get the sense of motion there. Anyway, it's beautiful. I love the idea and I love the design and everything. Just keep in mind always to push the poses and just give it a bit more attention to the structure and the anatomy of the body. Okay, awesome. Great job.
Guys, awesome. Because maybe, just show it to the class so that they know what he's talking about too. Lenny's, maybe because Lenny's was, and then, oh, sorry,
Hi, I'm Lenny.
Hello. Sorry, your name?
Lenny.
Lenny?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So I created The Alchemist from Paulo Coelho.
Yes.
So it's about shepherd. I don't know how to say it. So with his sheep, and it has the pyramids in the back because he has a dream of a treasure, and the treasure and isn't the pyramids technically in that ends up being in somewhere else. But well, the whole point of the story is just him trying to get there because he's from Spain, so it's just
nice
getting there. So that's the digital part. This is the
painting and digital.
Beautiful. I love it.
I'm more
so the one behind him, is it one pyramid or two pyramids?
Oh, it's two, but it's like he's like it's three. Sorry, it's three. So he's like in front of it.
No, the one right behind. So it's three pyramids. Okay, so behind him there should be two pyramids that he's covering. What I would suggest for you, especially with posters, try to be very aware of the silhouettes, of the lines. Always have, imagine like there's something in the 3D softwares that we can turn off the lighting and we see everything in black if there's no lights applied. So it gives us a good sense of the silhouette. If you see the silhouette, the line of the pyramid is like going with his line of shoulders or the cloth on on his left arm. I don't know if we see, I think we are seeing the right, left and right. So anyway, so I would like really stick out the pyramid a little bit to the right and the one on his left to be a little bit also on the left, so that we see the tips of the two pyramids. We get a sense of that, okay, these are the three pyramids. And also to have different heights so that it creates a nice dynamic shape. Instead of them feeling like they're all on the same level, it would be nice that to have a little bit like, one sticking to his screen or like to his right hand to the left, a bit like, overlapping with the sun a little bit, just to see the tips and to create a nice dynamic background. I really like the lines of the digital one. It reminds me a lot of the anime or the manga style, which is awesome. The sheep, though, I would really pay more attention not to have anything facing the camera perfectly like this. This is a little bit boring unless it has some dramatic meaning, like someone who's menacing or scary or even looking for something or like challenging. So I want to read the expression like this. Otherwise, I would always do it 3/4. I would always have a little bit of rotation, like what I'm doing. Like even the eyes can be looking straight, but the face can be a little bit 3/4. This will make it feel more interesting. And again, the same note about the anatomy of the human, also for the animals, because this feels a little too simplistic or like it's not having a nice anatomy to the sheep. So I would like pay a bit more attention to that and even pose it nicely. Pose it to have like a little bit of curve, like when they look like they can turn, they have a little longer neck, so they can be like standing 3/4 or sideways and looking to the side. This is going to make it feel more interesting than the current pose. And even the legs, I see the front leg one is a little bit behind the other. which is still almost on the same level with the back legs. So it's not giving me a nice sense of depth. So just try to spread them a little bit, make the back legs a little further back, the front legs a bit more forward, so that we get a sense of depth in the, in the scene or in the picture. I love it. It's beautiful. I love the colors and I love the scheme. Even the pose of the guy is nice, but it would be also more interesting if he's holding something, even a bag or something, because since he's traveling or it's a more adventure-like, so I would give him some prop to just amp up that feel. And also to make him do something with his hand instead of standing like this. It would be like maybe like he's holding like a bag or like holding it from the side like this, something to keep it, also to give it a nice pose for a poster. But otherwise, it's beautiful. I love what you've done and the colors are amazing. So good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Tino and then you. And then
hello, I'm Tino.
Yo. Hey, Tino.
I told you he's our Masier, kind of.
Yes. We called it Masier, like the one who's responsible for the organization of the class. So yeah. I know your struggle, man.
Yeah. So I wanted to do Achilles from mythology.
Okay.
You hear me? Okay,
yeah. Yeah, Achilles.
So I don't really do character design. I do more of like sketching or like figure drawing. So this was a little.
Can you stop talking and just show it to me?
Thank you.
Looks great, man. What are you talking about? It's awesome. I love the style.
It's
cool. I'll tell you something. I love what you've done, but Achilles is known for what? For how he died, or like the ankle, or like the Achilles tendon that we call. So I would really show the leg, even if it's not injured yet. But I would really love to see that, just to because it's a big part of the story, right? Also, when you have such pose, try to, again, it's the same anatomy note I was giving, which is basically try to always mimic the pose yourself and see or someone who has the same proportions to the character you want to do, and try to kind of get the very, very principal lines. I'm not a great drawer myself, by the way, so this is what I would do, because I'm not great with drawing, but when I simplify it, it becomes much easier and even give a more like powerful outcome. So I would really mimic that pose and just try, since he's holding something, I would make him a bit smaller in frame so that we see the full prop, not cut it, not to be to the edge. I would make it a tiny bit smaller, show the leg, the tendon a little bit, or like the leg, the ankle a little bit also, which is gonna make it even like more full body, and just pay attention more to the spine lines, because the spine here feels a little bit like an S shape, which is a little pushed. So he's strong, right? He's like with muscles and everything, so it should be like more simpler line. It would create like a C shape, as we say, like a simple arc in the spine without having too many arcs. When it's too wavy like this, it looks a bit weaker or feminine. So to make it like more stronger and like more muscle build, body, it would be great to simplify it and make it even stronger. And it's always best to use a reference for such poses. When it's like more dynamic pose like this, the references is the key. Even if you don't draw or you don't do characters, again, this is your project, so find the best tools to do it. Not everything I work on, I'm an expert in. I always learn, but sometimes to go the easy way, or like, simplify things and rely on references, it always gets you better results. So great job. It looks amazing. And I don't agree with you. I think you're great in characters. Just put your mind more in it, and it's looking awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Fruji.
Hello.
And I just want to say
the microphone is not great. Raise your voice, please.
My name is Fruji, and I just want to say first that I also studied interior design. I have a degree in interior design, and
yes, nice. Team interior design.
Yeah, but then I felt like it was the thing for me, so now I'm in graphic design. And
nice,
this is
cool
character.
Awesome. Love it. She looks a lot like you. Is that intentional? It's beautiful.
She's a werewolf, and I wanted to put both her human and werewolf form.
Nice. Very cool.
Yes. I'm not really good at character design and figure drawing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I think what you did is great. I think even the style that you chose, the very simple geometric lines, and like not to be that's the thing. If you're going for realistic, you have to be true to that. You have to like really go for the anatomy, and but you chose a stylized way to create the poster or the characters. So this is a very smart way to get away from like too much details and to compare it to reality, because there is no wolf that has legs like that. Nobody's gonna say that if it's stylized. But if you went for like a realistic style, I think that's when it gets tricky. So good job on choosing the style that you've done. This is awesome. And the other thing is, what I would just do is to make you have a nice long neck, and even the character that you draw. So it would be great to have also the same for the wolf, just to get like a little hint of like they both share the same kind of features, or it's the same character. Try to get a little bit of likeness in the eyes, especially the eyes. The eyes, again, as we said, it's the first thing anybody look at to understand any emotions or feeling, or even to see a character. The first thing, I look at the eyes, and then I start to scan everything else and look everywhere else. So if you want to say that this is the same character, always go for the same eye pose and the same eye, lines, the same design of the eye that you chose. I really like the way even you colored it. It's beautiful. It's great. The background is awesome. The pose of the girl is really cool. Just I would push the hip a bit more because it feels a bit stiff and it's just like that. I would push, like lean her hips a little bit more, so that it kind of create a more graceful and more like a nicer pose and nicer lines. But otherwise, I think it's really looking really cool. I love the style. So great job.
Thank you.
Looks awesome. Thanks.
All right, Jesse, and then Antonio, and then Kawai. Habibi.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Jessica. I'm mostly a digital artist, so
nice.
My piece is very small for the physical because I didn't have a lot of time, but I can show you the digital one too.
Beautiful.
She's an oceanic dragon.
It's incredible. That's amazing. I love it. Can you make it a bit closer? I want to see the eyes.
Show
That's beautiful.
I can probably send it because I did it on the iPad, so maybe I can like copy it and send it to you so you see it better. Because from a screen to another screen, probably not that good, but
it's not bad. I can see it. I really like it. So this is great. So what's the intention of this drawing? Is it a T-pose?
Yeah, this is like, and like if I had more time, I would have done like the back and the side angles
and back.
Because like I do a lot of character designs like this, and they're always like they want the most basic pose. But that's when I can like play around with it, because I really like doing portraitures and stuff like that. Like let me show you some examples I have of other things. Let me open. Sorry, because like it was a bit like this. Look, I do character design sheets like this. It's up in my alley. So see how she's like poses and stuff like that. Nice. We have the flat colors because that's very important when you do character designs, because if you don't have the flats, right, people don't know. They always like nitpick when you shape.
But even when you create a 3D character, this is the kind of like blueprint sheet that we need. It's from front, side, and everything, so that we can model it. So good job doing that. It's awesome that you understand that and you know it, and you're doing it very good. Can you show me the first picture that like the actual one?
The digital or this one?
Whatever. Is it the same character?
It's
one small one.
Okay, cool. So I really love it. I think the especially the manual one, or like the real colors one, is looking beautiful. What I would just tell you is like try to make, unless it's part of the design for the nose and the mouth, I would make it a little bit like a bit more detailed, just a tiny bit, not too much, not to lose the style, because the style should be like very simplistic, or like not very human like, but at the same time, the nose feels a tiny bit off. So I would just like, you know, give it a little bit of volume, and just to make it look, even if it's a small nose, still just make it more defined.
To be honest, like I'm like graduating this semester, so I gave away a lot of like my painting supplies to people who can't afford it. So like I felt bad because like I'm a digital artist. I don't really use like acrylics and all this stuff. And so when this assignment came, I was like, damn. And so I bought markers, and I didn't like how the markers were looking. So that's why I kept it small, because I did try to make it bigger. But since I went in with color versus like sketching it on paper, I was like, ooh, that's not cute.
Listen, this is super nice of you to do that. And I also want to tell you something, because in Egypt, we're not a like, you know, we're a poor country. We're not we're not a rich country. So a lot of people couldn't even afford the expensive, nice tools and colors. So, but I've seen a lot of really, really good artists with very simple tools, and they would do better than, you know, the people who have the best fancy tools. So what you've done is awesome. I really like it. And I'm not saying that you have anything short of being like looking awesome, you know, digital and the even practical work. Both are beautiful, but at the same time, still always, no matter how short of the tools you are, always learn to do the best and have the best outcome with it. Even if you don't have to make it complicated, you can simplify it. But at the same time, when I look at it, I don't feel, okay, this person was missing colors. No, I don't want to say that. We want to say that it's beautiful, you know, as if you did it intentionally. And this is actually something that you should learn even in work. In a lot of cases, sometimes we're out of tools, or we are out of time, which happens most of the time towards the end of a project. We don't have time, and we want to do the best out of it. So it's how to be smart and work smart to get the best outcome with what you have. So I think you did a great job. I really like what you've done. And thank you for giving your stuff to other people. This is very nice of you.
Can I show him about like the moving models? Do you think he'd be interested in that?
This will cost you $5.
So I get like commissioned to draw like that in the T-pose, but then someone else animates it in a program, and it follows face tracking on the iPhone and stuff like that. And so I have videos of it, but it's like you have to see it to like, because I don't have it on me. If I had one on me, put it in the chat. That's what I was thinking. I can show. Hold on, let me show, because it has to do with animation, because it's like foundation plus knowing how to like draw it.
I'll tell you something. Maybe let Antonio do it, and while you do the
airdrop.
Or did you find it already?
Let me see. What computer is this one? 5?
Yeah.
I am blind. Okay.
So you animate V2? That's cool.
I draw them. I'm learning to animate them because it's very hard. Like Cubism is a very complicated program, and it's only like 7 years old now. So it's like so advanced, because when it comes to like doll or little simple animations, like a lot of video games and mobile games particularly hire artists to separate layers on illustrations, and then in them on Cubism they separate and they move it. So then you get those fancy like load-ins of the characters like just sitting and their hair is moving, right? They're blinking, they're moving around. That's all done on Cubism. So that was like the original intention of it.
Did you send it?
I clicked on it, but it's not. It says waiting. Oh.
Can we maybe if it didn't work now? Oh yeah, it's accept.
Let's see. Does it open the video though?
Send it to him.
Oh no, it doesn't. It's fine.
Can you show it to me on the iPad as well?
I can show you on the iPad. Here.
Yeah, I think I can see it this way.
Moves.
Yeah.
With facial tracking.
Okay, cool. Very cool. I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking awesome. And I think always I know how it feels when you see like a design moving after. Like this is one of the powerful things about animation is like giving life to what you create. So it's amazing. It's beautiful.
So much, like I spent like a month, 2 months, 3 months making these models. And so when I find a move, it's like, thank God, it looks amazing.
Exactly.
When you're like, is it even worth it? I'm separating all these layers. These files have like 300 layers, and you're just like stressed because you're like, did I draw it correctly? Because you have to think about the form in 3D. You're not thinking flat. So you have to draw the palm exactly how you would draw a palm, or like the hand. You have to think about when you remove this finger, how would this finger look? So it's like all these little details that you have to like go in and remember. Because if you forget it when it's moving, you're like, oh, it looks ugly.
I think it's always also good to explore and try things, which is you know,
class, like our assignment, we tried to drive away from this style because I know the only style. This is just like my comfort style, you know. Everything else is like I can do so many other things. I prefer to do this.
And I would advise you to do that so that you don't stick to only one style. A good artist can do many things, and then you will choose what's the closest to your heart to do. But at the same time, don't make it only exclusive to that. Don't make it only for all your focus and all your effort on just one style. Try to explore more. Maybe you will find something even more interesting that you've never thought of. So just keep going and keep trying many things. And I love your work. Looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
My name is Antonio, and
Antonio, nice to meet you.
Likewise. I redesigned the God of War Ares.
Cool.
So nice. I went with I know it kind of looks like I use the same color here, but this is orange and this is like a red aura around him.
Okay.
So I went with like a simple background. I really just because I'm not super experienced with painting, so I kept this simple. So then I really wanted to just kind of illustrate the actual concept of the character. And I made him, if you look up Ares, he's mostly depicted as like a gladiator human. So I'm like, let's make him a little more, I guess, you know, I want that element of fear, but also just, Ares in astrology is represented by a ram. So I wanted to kind of incorporate some animal feature, make him look, intimidating, but he's also, like kind of lighthearted.
I see. Okay.
Like when it's time to get like down to business, he's ready. But he's kind of. But
I'll ask you a question, Antonio. What do you think is more interesting if as a poster, if I'm looking this way or if I'm looking this way? Which is more dramatic and give a more attitude? This or this?
The 3/4 pose.
The 3/4. So that's why I always advise especially when you're showing strength and you're showing something. This is a little bit like idle or like, neutral. This is a little bit with an attitude, and even holding things, always think of a pose like how you would do it when you take a picture. When you want to flex and show your muscles, do you stand like this? Or you stand like, you pose, like you take some poses, right? That's what I would do if I'm doing this poster. What you've done is really nice, though you can push it even further. You can push it by having a nice, cooler pose. And also, since you went with a bit like a human body, I would really stick to human body proportions and anatomy, because in here, the smaller breasts or like the thinner breast and the smaller hands is taking away from his strength. We want to show that he's so strong. So I would make it a little bigger. When you see, even I'm not that muscular, I don't have too much muscle, but you can see that the proportion of the wrist is to the bicep is not as small as what you have. So always be careful of the anatomy to show the strength, because right now it's taking a little bit away. Even for the legs pose, one leg is forward, one leg is to the sideway. I would like make him like leaning a little bit and even having a bit of an arc. He's not a human. He's a half human, half something else, or like an animal. So I would make him like with a bit of a posture like that, maybe holding, let me get like a stick or something. I don't have a stick. Anyway, like let's pretend that this is a stick, the two pens. Okay, so he's holding like this. So instead of like him just standing and holding like that in a very flat way, I'll make him hold like this. He's ready to go. The face is 3/4. The body is taking even the line of action on the spine, it's leaning a little bit more. It's not just flat and staying straight like this. No, he's like ready for action, looking to the camera. For the eyes, be very careful. The animal's eyes is a bit like it's so different than the human eyes, and you want to give him that human feel, right? So make the eyes human. You know, this was something like, as an example, when they wanted to make in Planet of Apes, they wanted to make the apes to become more human. They're more smart, and they made the eyes of the apes human eyes, which if you look in like if you compare it, the Planet of Apes like monkeys to the actual apes, the eyes are not like that. But they made it more human because they are smarter. They have more attitude. They're acting. They're not just like animals. So try to give it more human eyes, especially the eyes, so that we can feel, again, the same thing I've been telling to your colleagues, which is the eyes is the first thing we look at. If I don't feel connection with the eyes, if I don't feel anything or any pose, like he's like angry or like even like ready to go or even neutral, I'm just strong and I'm waiting like this. If I don't see an expression, it's gonna take away. This feels like an animal head. It's not giving me any expression. So it would be great to kind of create that more 3/4, more human eyes and more attitude and like a nicer pose on the eyes. This is gonna push, you know, even like the pose and like the attitude of the character more. So just seeing him, I will understand, oh my God, wow, strong, not human, but still I can understand and you know what he feels just from looking at his eyes. Okay. Yeah. So perfect. Cool stuff. And for the hue that you draw, it's blending so much with the background. So what I would do also is to give it a bit of a yellow edge on it, like, you know, the fire, it starts with like, you know, more darker red and then goes to yellow. So this will give it a nicer it will disconnect it from the red background, and as well it's gonna look even cooler and it looks like a fire, so it's gonna even be better as an effect. Okay, anyway, great job and awesome stuff.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Carlos.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Carlos.
Carlos, nice to meet you.
Doing was Paul Bunyan. He's from like North American and like Canadian folklore. So nice. I usually go for a bit more of like a graphic style, and I tried making some of the shapes like in the background for the character to be a little more sharp. So there's like a lot of masking around like with the mountains and such that I did, as well as with the character itself being a little graphic. The pose that I chose was inspired from the movie Akira. It was like the 2D animated movie. So I was thinking, like, he's like riding on his like companion ox and like doing the little slide thing. So yeah. Usually he's portrayed as like a more jolly person, but also since he's like usually portrayed as being really massive, I kind of wanted to make it look a little bit more intimidating.
Yes.
So I tried evoking that like with the eyes. So it's kind of like you can barely see it. It's kind of like under his hat. So he's like looking at the viewer.
Looking under the brows like this. Yeah, this is beautiful. Yeah. I really like it, man. The style is awesome. Everything is awesome. What I would just do is just to frame him a little bit lower, because he's now almost at the edge. So you could have put him like, I would say 1 inch or 1.5 inches just lower, so that he's more centered or like not as high. It's giving a nice space. Like if this would be a poster, you would put all the text down, which is awesome, like the name of the movie or like the show, whatever. But since it's just about the character, I would frame him a little bit lower. I really like the style, the geometric style, simplistic. It's beautiful. Pose-wise, the leg being straight is not helping. I would have bent it a little bit like a motorcycle. So like have the, you know, like the leg a little bit like the knee a bit more front and just have a tiny bit of a bend there. And even the other leg, we could have seen the knee a little higher, you know, so that we read that it's more dynamic and he's like riding it like a horse, and like one knee is higher than the other. Yes. The hand, instead of having it like that, I don't know what it's holding actually, his
it's left hand. I mean, I just kind of like ended up leaving it a little vague there at that point.
You could have made him like just holding the horn. There's nothing wrong with that. He could like, it's just like, even it's there, so he can be like just holding like this. It would even have given him a nicer bend and a nicer silhouette with the hand, instead of just straight. It would have a nicer shape. Otherwise, it's beautiful. I love the background. Great job doing that. It's again, I would just I wish it was a little lower overall. Like the character, especially the background is beautiful.
Got it up beforehand, yeah. And
I know.
And he ignored me, so thank you.
Yeah.
Again, it's not taking away from how beautiful it is. This is all notes I'm giving what I would do or how I would push it even further. But again, that doesn't mean it's short of being awesome. It's looking great. Right. So great job.
Thank you so much.
I love it. Awesome job, man.
Oh, we have Frankenstein and then Kawaii.
Let's do it.
Hello, my
name
is... Yeah, what I decided to do is like I based it on Victor Frankenstein, the scientist who actually created Frankenstein.
Okay.
The original novel. I decided to go more like simplistic style with him. Like a little more like you know, like those simplified cartoon drawing you see in a lot of like American cartoons these days. Like the CalArts style, you heard of that?
Yes, I'm familiar with that. It looks great. I think it looks nice. Though, what is he doing? Like, what is the pose with the hands? Does it mean anything?
Not really. Just a simple pose. Just for
fun. Okay. It reminds me a little bit of the Christian church drawings of the, you know, like the disciples and Jesus and that. So because he's not doing something specific. So what I would have done or like what I would do differently, it looks great. I love the style. It looks nice. The blood, you could have made just one drop, or like the red background, you could have made one drop as if it's like just like leaking and dripping down a bit more to give a nice contrast, not to be perfectly like it's just having a nice arc like this. You know, break it with one contrasty like, you know, line of blood dripping more. The hand could, his Frankenstein, he was a doctor, right? He was a scientist.
Yeah.
The story, correct? So he can be holding something like that. He can be even like putting like, you know, the one glass eye to look at fine details and stuff. He could be doing like wearing that. Just something to tell me more about the character, because how would I tell this is Frankenstein without giving any hints? That's the point. So my point is that instead of just posing the hands in a random pose, I would have given him a tool, like maybe a scissor or something, or like maybe something even more sophisticated to show that, oh, he's a scientist. He created some cool tools or like different tools than the usual. He's wearing something. Maybe it doesn't have to wear, of course, like a white coat or anything. Like he can be wearing something different, but also to show the era of the time. Is it happening nowadays, or it's happening like you know, 100 years ago, or like when? So also this would be cool to give a hint of when, what the character is doing, just by giving simple hints in your drawings. The style is really nice. I like it. What I would just also push in the eyes is just to make him a bit more like angrier or a bit more mean, because he's not 100% innocent or like nice, right? There's a bit of like a kick to his character. He's not like a good person.
Oh, sorry. You know, where I decided to make him look more innocent, and then like with the background, like teasing of like, you know, all the stuff he's about to go through.
It went wrong. Something went wrong. I like that. That's a nice argument we can have, which is it's a cool way to see it. So I think just hinting more to his character, giving it more props and simple stuff that tells me more about his character is very important to just one image that I want to see this. Okay, even if I don't tell he's Frankenstein, I know that he's a scientist of a kind, or a doctor, or something that, you know, gives me a bit of a hint of the story. So I think this is the only thing missing, but otherwise I really like the style that you've done. Beautiful.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hello. I'm still waiting for the Arabic. Where is the Arabic words? You know?
Arabic words. Say that.
I'm still learning.
No, say tell him حبيبي عسل, all the weird things.
انت بتعلميهم يا مريم بابا. It's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Tell him.
Yeah.
Say some Arabic words so you know.
Okay. انت عسل شكرا.
Shukran, love. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I decided to do my character project as a kawaii style.
Okay.
I never have done like a kawaii style like this one. This one was my first time.
Nice.
And this one is based of a 12 princess tale.
Raise it a little bit more, please. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's a tale.
And guys, this is a presentation, so I want all of you to.
It's a tale like from the beginning of telling. It's like a German tale. It's like 12 princes. I don't know if you know about that. And then this morning I was doing the character in Procreate. And it was my first time using like Procreate because I'm learning how to use it. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. Can you show it to me again, please? The painting. Yes, this is really nice. I really love the style and everything. Maybe just also for a pose, instead of having both legs together, keep the knees together and then just bend one leg to the back so that we have a nicer silhouette. Again, think about the negative space you have. There's a lot of blue here. So how to occupy that in a smart way that make the pose looks cool and at the same time not feeling that there is a lot of empty parts of the background. The background is nice. I like that it's plain color, but you can give it a little bit of a texture. You can give it a bit of something that kind of give it more depth, or at least maybe make it a bit lighter in the middle to make it as if there's a spotlight or something, or there's a more light in the middle to feature the character better, and it's getting darker as it goes to the edges. Just something to make it not feel like it's a plain color. But again, it's not it's very subjective. When I saw it the first time, I like it. This is something that I would do personally, but it doesn't mean that you have to, or it's the only good way. I think this is also nice what you have done. It's very cool. Maybe the hand is not very clear. The hand holding the flower can also be enhanced a little bit, even if it's a simple 3 fingers, kind of like, simple drawing of the hands. Still make sure that the pose, that it shows very clearly that she's holding with 2 fingers together, even if the other finger, or like the pinky and the middle and the ring, let's say, are a little lower or together, like either this or that. This is a better silhouette, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it clearly. This is a better silhouette. This is a simple way, but still clear. When it's just doing something that's not holding very well, it takes a bit away from the strength of the pose. So try to kind of, I would push the pose a little bit more in that hand just to make it holding it nicer. You can do that in the digital version, by the way. So it's easy to fix it there.
When it came to drawing hands, is the worst thing for me. Yeah.
No, but I think it's the key is to simplify it and just draw simple lines, and don't go too complicated or like try too hard. Just simple lines is always the best, and it's make it, even the audience will see it in a clear way, and it's not going to be too hard for you. So it's not adding too much details. It's about simplifying it, but just making it enough to be clear. Otherwise, it's a beautiful design. So good job.
Shukran.
Thank you.
Salam.
Salam. Alaikum assalam, rahmatullah.
Hi, how's it going?
Hello. How are you?
Good. My name is Michael.
Michael, nice to meet you.
You should bring your sketchbook too.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? Bring your sketchbook until he shows.
Okay.
So you show your sketchbook and this one too.
I would love to see your sketchbook, Michael.
Yeah.
He goes now?
Yeah, and then you after him, but bring your sketchbook.
Hello, my name is Ernesto.
Ernesto, nice to meet you.
And this was my character design.
Yes. Raise it, please. Thank you. Nice.
I create a demon with the topic of the Christmas.
I
try to I have made this one before. I found a person in internet that create the original, and he motivate the people to create his own design with different topics.
I just don't understand the face. Where are the eyes?
The eyes are like a line.
Are they the black or the white on the top?
It's the black one.
Okay, makes sense now. Okay, cool. I think it's because the screen left one, the one I see on my screen left, which is his right eye, is not the same as the other side. That's what threw me off a little bit. I didn't catch that this is the eye.
In this
it's very cool. I love it. It's very cool.
Thank you.
I think it's just what I would do differently, because the character is the colors are light. It's not too dark, and the background is white, so it's blending too much with the background. I would have done it on a more dark or a darker background so that the characters stand out more and easy or clearer to read from the background. Otherwise, I really like the style that you've done. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I try to look even if I try to create demo, I try to make it a little more cute possible.
It's great, and always Christmassy stuff, you know, as long as it's not a horror Christmas story or show. I think it's always nice to have it a bit cute, even if it's evil, just to have it a little like nice and cute. I would also make the eyes a little bit, if you want the evil eyes, like this is innocent when it's like that. This is evil. So I would like those two lines, I would just make them the opposite on the eyes. This is more evil and demon, you know, and like mean character. So the angle of the eyes and the brows always define this is innocent and nice, and like maybe he's the good guy in the story, but this like with the, you know, more brows and like raise the brows on the sides, this is a bit more evil. So if you want to emphasize the character and give it more attitude as like the evil one, I would definitely rotate those to the opposite side. But again, I love the style, so great job.
Thank you.
All right, Michael.
Hello again.
Hello.
So my character was based off the goddess Gaia. So in terms of her backstory, is just based on Mother Nature. So she's the creator of just basically everything. So this was a painting I did.
Nice.
In terms of like reference, I use more of a ballerina to show that sort of looseness and just kind of just flowy nature.
Yes.
In terms of creation, so this is what I came up with.
It's awesome. I love it. I love the style. I love the color, everything. It's just the little details that needs to be like, you know, tuned up a little bit, but otherwise it's definitely a great piece. The first thing I looked at is the face, as usual. Is it intentional that you want to make it feel like a little bit like not beautiful?
Yeah.
Or like, okay.
Just like details and stuff. I just focus more on just the flowiness of it.
I see. Okay, that makes sense, and it's beautifully like executed, and I can tell, like, you know, it's not happy, it's not, but again, it's more sad but relaxed at the same time, which is great. I really like that attitude. Maybe also like the breast or like the cleavage line, I would like just make it a little bit in the middle of the body so that it goes with the dress, or like, you know, the cloth part or the green part. The arms, I like it's kind of look like a bit of a tree, like all the wrinkles that you added make it feel a bit more organic with the green color. It feels like a tree or something, which is also cool detail. So I think it's just like fine tuning or like another finishing and polishing layer on top of what you've done is gonna make it perfect, but otherwise it's beautiful. So great job. And instead of the stars, I would make it like more like a leaf, you know, the star on the bottom, especially the one on the bottom. This is like a clear star. I would make it more like a bit closer to a leaf. There are leaves that looks, you know, the maple leaf of the Canadian flag, it looks a little bit like a star. So you can go in between so that it's not a perfect star like that in a simple way. It would be just like a little little different, you know.
Just little details.
It's awesome. I love it. Love the pose as well. It's beautiful line of action and pose.
And I'll show you some stuff on my sketchbook.
Yeah, let's do it.
In terms of me, I'm just mostly a sketchbook. I just get just do details and stuff, just like let my imagination kind of just flow with sketchbooking. So
nice.
I do like color.
That's awesome. I cannot draw this good. This is beautiful.
And then I lean more towards pen, so pen is now my medium in sense that like I just have fun with it.
Ah, beautiful piece. That's amazing. I love it. Though one thing, just the line of the cloth on the face, it's too perfect. try to give it a little bit of the details, or like the, you know, the ups and downs and the shape, the 3D shape of the face. So it's not going to be a perfect line like this. It's going to take a little bit of down and up again. And like, you know, again, a good way to do that is reference.
Yeah.
Like, you know, find a girl that can help you out and just let her put it the same way you have the drawing, and just try to give it a little bit of imperfection so that it doesn't feel like it's the straight line. No, it feels more realistic and more 3D, gives a nice depth to it. But it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, I have other ones. I just messing around in terms of like getting a composition ready, and just
one other thing I saw in a couple of your drawings, I feel the eyes are a little bit far from each other than they should, like a little bit. We're talking about just pixels, like, you know, like a few millimeters, but it feels a little bit away from each other. Try to kind of like also use the right proportions of the face, where, like, you know, the middle of the eye goes to the mouth and all that. There are ways in the drawing books, and I'm sure you're gonna find it online easily, to find the right proportions where each part of the face lies on, or like where it's positioned. This is gonna make it feel even more accurate and more realistic in your drawings.
Here's some other ones. I just try to fine tune, like just sort of hatching.
This is beautiful. I don't find this issue here. Like, this is perfect. This is looks right. Like everything in the right place. And I even love the rendering of the rendering way of your markers. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, and then just other ones, because I do mess with color pencil from time to time, and just
nice. This is awesome too.
But like I said, just like pen was just mostly what I kind of just grew to love, in the sense that I just
mess with. Ooh, love it. I love this kind of you know, stylized crazy drawings. This is very cool. Even it's gonna make you explore. This is what I'm telling everybody. Try to explore different stuff and different styles, and even like crazy situations and crazy poses and crazy ideas. This is how you grow and try things, and maybe you know that, oh, you know what, I'm not very good at this, so I will push myself in it. Or maybe, oh wow, I'm good at this and I like it more than I thought. So love that you're exploring.
And then this is like full body poses that I've done, just messing around.
Nice. Always think about line of actions, and start with simple lines, like, you know, the lady on the ground, like her hand is very straight. I would just give it a bit of gravity on the hand, and like a nice even pose on the fingers.
Yeah.
This like little details is what makes it even greater. Like, it looks beautiful already, looks amazing, but I would even push more how to make it more interesting and give it a nice dynamic feel.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm trying to steal his sketchbook, but
yeah. Please send me some of the what you steal.
And they sketch each other, and nobody sketched me.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
Or else it's not gonna get that great.
Right, pay him something.
All right, we have here Miss Piggy.
Thank you.
But she's not your average Miss Piggy. It's Miss Piggy on TikTok and Instagram. She even did 3 of them. 3 paintings. So,
oh, that's great.
And look at that with her duck face.
Nice. So I love it. It looks awesome. Yeah, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Christine.
Can you maybe put this one, or just raise your phone close?
My name is Christine.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. My character is based on Miss Piggy, and I wanted her to look a lot more.
Can you just raise your voice a little bit? Just raise your voice a bit more.
My character is based off of Miss Piggy from Muppets.
Yes.
I wanted her to look a lot more current, because Miss Piggy's an older character, so I wanted her to look more like she fits in age. Yeah, and
that's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I would say something, if you can raise it just like a little bit, like raise it up. Yes. Nice. I love it. It's really beautiful. It's really cool. So is this like, is the intention to make it like a poster?
I was just trying to like make a full body, and then a closer view, like
yeah. I love the ones where she's holding the phone. It's telling something. She's taking a TikTok. Or like, you know, a picture. She's like doing something. This is very cool. The one where she's posing, I would push that pose, because when you stand, like when you're like, you know, a celebrity or like a star or like a model, and that should be her attitude. So you don't stand in a flat way like this. You would give it a little bit of like, you know, a lean to the back, a little bit, you know, a nice shape, or like a pose on the body, hand in the waist, something just to give it more attitude. I think this is maybe what it's missing, to give even a stronger impression and a stronger like pose about her, tell about her character, so that I learn about her. Oh, she's so sassy, she's very fashionable, she's, you know, just to push even the ideas a bit more. But I really like the design. I like the style and the colors. It looks beautiful. Reminds me a lot of Barbie, which is out now. By the way, the visual effects of Barbie was done at Framestore where I work, but I didn't work on it myself.
Wow.
But yeah. But anyway.
We have a lot.
Yeah, so this is beautiful. I love the colors that you've done. The hair is beautiful. I love the rendering and the shadows and the shades of the hair. Good job. So it's just like pushing a little bit more about the character. How do I give more information about the character just from one pose? This is how you think about it. Think of the same, you know, personality you want to draw, and try to mimic it yourself. A lot of, even in animation, what we do is a lot of referencing. But it's more embarrassing for us in animation because we have to act it, and we have to do a video of ourselves acting. We don't show it to anybody, of course, but just to see it ourselves. And even sometimes I do it and then I see it, oh, I don't think the character should move this way. I'll do it again. And then I do it again. And the more I do it, the more I learn about how this character should be moving or posing. So even for just one picture, do the pose yourself first, and even take a picture of yourself and see what's interesting. Maybe you're tilting your head while you're taking the picture. Maybe you're doing that. Maybe you're doing that. Maybe you're doing something that will make it more interesting and make us, the audience, who see your work, learn more about what you want to tell about the character. Okay, great stuff. Great work.
All right, we only have two left: the Ugly Duckling and John Park.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
You're gonna still learn.
I don't know if you can see this.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name is Kirsten.
Kirsten, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
I kind of
is this digital colors?
This is watercolor.
That's why, because I could tell it's watercolors. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I was going for more of like a storybook, like a children's book.
Yeah.
Visual. But yeah, I mean, I've heard your feedback for other people, so I can tell that maybe the pose is too stagnant. Maybe if there was more of a movement to her to like accentuate her sadness.
What are the other ducks are doing? Are they shouting at the duck?
They're shouting. They're like,
okay. I see. Okay. Because I don't get a sense of they are looking at the duck in the foreground, they feel small and the duck feels big. So a good way to define that is to do a little bit of perspective, to see a little bit that there is depth in the background and they are back and our hero is in the front. This will make it more clear so that you don't get the sense of, oh, it's a huge duck with babies. Also, one other thing is I would color the Ugly Duckling a little darker to make it feel, to stand out. Everything is bright, everything is beautiful in your painting. So this, and like light colored. So this needs to be a bit contrasty. This needs to stand out a bit more. Once you put it, oh, I see a dark, you know, shape, and the rest is light and fading in the background. So also think about contrast and think about what you wanna feature in your drawing, or make our eyes, the audience eye, look at first. So in order to do that, always have a nice contrast with your character. So make it darker or lighter if the background is dark. But in that case, definitely make it darker. And also try to explain the even as a poster or as an image, try to explain the perspective a little bit so that we don't misunderstand it or like get the wrong impression. But it looks beautiful, and I love your coloring, by the way. It's very beautiful watercolors. So good job.
Thank you so much.
Cool. All right, Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc. We have two people who are embarrassed who doesn't want to show you their work, so that's why.
Come on, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. What's your name?
Emily.
Emily, nice to meet you.
So I made Joan of Arc, the Saint, into like a cartoon, like graphic novel.
Okay.
Kind of like a superhero because I added like a cape.
Nice.
And yeah.
I love the style and I love the coloring and everything, though I would add a little bit of hints for the face, even if you don't want to do like a proper face. And sometimes you can get away by the what we call button eyes, which is just like dot. This is eyes and just a hint of a mouth, just a shadow. You know, this will give it a bit. It will make me feel more connected. Now it might feel a bit more as a scary character or someone I don't understand or I don't know. But just a simple eyes, even a dot, black dot, and just have you seen the cartoon called Pocoyo?
No.
There is a cartoon called Pocoyo, and there is another cartoon. I don't remember the name. Anyway, they had like this very, very small, tiny eyes, but at least it makes you get connected with the character. You look at, oh, it's a face, you can see the eyes, but this is, oh, is this like a creature, an alien, a bad guy? So you don't understand. So even a hint of the features is always better than nothing. But I really like what you have done. The pose is cool. The background looks like beautiful, so good job. Yeah, it's just adding a little bit of a face. I think it's going to help to get the audience or the people who are seeing your art to get more connected. But I love the style you've done. So good job.
All right, the last one.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to do it.
What's your name? Sorry.
My name is Andrea.
Andrea. Nice to meet you, Andrea.
Well, my character is based. This is my character is kind of big.
That's huge. Wow, love it.
Stand for stand. Just show how it's kind of
nice.
I based my character in a legend.
Okay.
I grew up with, like, from my country. It's about a woman that she basically kills her kids because her husband has an affair with another woman.
Okay.
So she haunts men at night.
Okay, I'm scared already.
Yeah.
That's great. I love the concept. It's very cool, by the way.
It was like yeah, I grew up with the concept. I do not believe in much, but the concept is kind of like interesting. So she dresses really like nice and she draws man's attention and then she drowns them as she drowned her kids. So yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to tell about the character from that poster? Do you want to tell that it's welcoming but she is dangerous, or like she's like?
Yeah, I actually tried to picture. I'm not like I don't really like I'm not. I don't know. I don't really know how to like.
I will help you with something because I was
experiment with like characters to create characters. So this was my.
That's awesome. I think you have an awesome concept, and even the drawing is beautiful. It's just something that will help you is to know what kind of impression you want the audience to get when they see it. You know what I mean? So it's very important that you learn, okay, I want to make the audience feel that she looks nice, but there's something uncomfortable about her. There's something not right about her, you know?
I actually made her with the open arms so she could she was welcoming, but I did not know how to portray the impression of like, okay, she actually hides something. So I made the dress blue.
Yeah.
But, like I kind of
didn't know how to like continue with my like the story per se.
Yes, I think a good way. This is what I mean. Just an impression. Like not all the posters has to tell the whole story, okay? But at least it will tell me something about the character. And this is a good way to actually. It's a good exercise for you to think what can be a simple thing but effective to give the right impression. Can it be just the expression, so she can be like what, like opening arms and like she's very welcoming like this, but her expression is a bit like smirky and like there's something uncomfortable about her. So you can do that by just the expression of the face. You can do that by just like her, like maybe she can be standing away and just looking, and maybe one hand like come to me, and maybe behind her back there is a knife or something that shows that she's not as welcoming as she shows, like she has some other intentions. So it can be things like that that you can come up with to sell the impression you want to give to the audience without giving away. You don't have to tell the story, but at least when I see this picture, oh, that's a beautiful lady. There is something not comfortable about her. This is exactly the impression that the audience should get. It's not, okay, she does this and she does that. And no, we don't need to know the whole story from a picture, but at least give a hint of the character. You know what I mean?
Or the personality traits. Okay, thank you.
Exactly. But your drawing skills is beautiful. The style is really nice. I like it. Even it's like it needs a little bit of polishing just to get the right proportions, or like, you know, to make it feel more like the elbows, as an example, the left is not in the same place as the right. But these are simple things that can be fixed. It's not a big deal. The style is nice. The style is beautiful, which is not 100% realistic, which is great. I always like that, to go a bit stylized. But I think it's about telling more about your character from simple things. Try to think about smart ways to tell more about the characters without giving too much away and without being like too direct. But at the same time, it's the impression. Think about what I want my audience to feel when they see it. This is the key. This is what's gonna make you think about the right way to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good stuff. I love your work. Great stuff. Thank you.
You want to give us like a final, after now, like you've seen, like a final advice, final thing you want to tell us?
What I can say is that all the work I've seen is awesome. You guys are great. And I think very promising work, very bold choices, and very interesting ideas that you guys all have. So that's amazing. It's just about practicing. It's like it's a muscle. Like the more you train it, the better you're gonna get, and the more stronger you're gonna be. So always keep exploring. Always keep, you know, enhancing what you're doing. Always keep learning books. Read books about the subjects that you like, or like the you know, even about drawing or designing or anything, any part of the, you know, the artistic field that you want to be in. So, and again, don't feel trapped. Don't feel that, oh my God, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing anymore, and this is what I've learned, so I have to do this for my whole life. No, this is not the right thing. Always think of that you can do anything. You can explore different things to know how you're gonna proceed and continue your whole life being happy and working on this thing that you love and the thing that you're passionate on. If you love it, you're gonna be the best at it. If you don't love it, if you're not passionate about it, it will be just a job, which I personally hate so much. That's why I got into animation, because it does feel like I'm doing a hobby. I'm having fun and I'm getting paid.
Awesome.
That's the best. So just keep working on your skills and keep pushing your limits, and keep knowing about yourself what you like the most. And this is what you should definitely focus on, and keep you know, learning and keep enhancing until, you know, you work in what you want to do and live happily. That's actually the point of everything we're doing, just to be happy with what we're doing. So great job. You guys are amazing. And Mariam, you looks like you're a good teacher. I didn't know that. Your students are showing really great skills. So good job to you.
They're talented. I was lucky. I was just giving a talented group. Anybody here wants to say something, or I have a question? Anybody wants to say something?
He's already tired.
Yeah, he's tired. I have a question for you.
I'm fine. If you have the time, I have the time as well. So if anybody have a question, I'm happy to answer.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Because I keep asking that, and without being politically correct or not, like, who's your favorite out of your memory? Maybe some that you remember.
What do you mean by who? Like person? Or?
The characters that you saw today.
From what I've seen today.
If you remember, I know you've seen a lot already, but
I mean, they're all really great. To be honest, I'm not trying to be nice, but they're really showing a lot of good potential. I don't wanna name one, but they're all really great. Maybe the best, I would say, like the most I remember is the Mother Nature one, because it's very powerful and it's iconic. So I think it's like really good.
Michael's? Is it
Michael's? Yes. This is it leaves a good impression, and that's why, because even I told him it has a nice line of action, it has a nice pose, the color choices is good, and like it's very contrasty with the background, so it stands out the most. Although maybe it's even simpler than other work, but it's still more powerful and effective. So that was a good one. The one with the one holding the axe, what was it called? With the bull, riding a bull. This one also was very nice. I love the style and everything. And even to all of you, no matter what kind of notes or thoughts I gave you, it doesn't take away from what you've done. What you've done is really working. It's really good, but it's just what I would do to make it better. It's just ideas to think about in your next projects when you're working on it. It's not something that is making your work any less. You all have done really good work, and just again, it's one project. Don't let one project define you. Even that, if that's not your best work, it doesn't look the way you want it, it's just one project. Keep working, and I'm sure the next ones is going to get better and better as long as you push it. So great job to all of you.
All right, they all know me. I like to take photos, so I'm just going to send someone to take a photo with you, and that's it.
Okay, let's do it.
Just 1 second.
How's my hair looking?
Great, it's not there right now.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe we all look at her, and he's in the back. So just all of you, Tino, Isa, Christine, maybe stand up, whoever is not there. Whoever has their character and wants to show it, whatever. Yeah, that's great. People in the back, maybe stand up so that we all are there.
1, 2, 3.
It's Lenny's and Emily just come here. Sorry, maybe hold your character. Sorry. Hold your character. Are we all there?
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Is he there? All right. So, maybe another close-up. There.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, let's have another one. Sorry.
Yeah, why not?
But maybe show that who is, yeah, throw him in the back. No, come close from here. Yeah, from here it could be nice. All right. Okay, thank you so much, Mina, for your time and detailed feedback. We highly appreciate it.
My pleasure.
How can we follow you?
I have my my Vimeo channel or website, or even like you can add me on LinkedIn. It's all under the same name, Mina Ibrahim, and you will find the bald white guy. That's me. So just add me and we'll stay in touch. And if anybody have any question at any time, please send me. Don't hesitate.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And happy birthday to us, both of us.
Yes, to you too. Exactly. Cool. Thank you, Mariam, and thank you, everybody, and good luck. Okay. Bye.
Bye.